Hey everybody, it's the season is moving along pretty quick for the Minnesota, well, not just Minnesota Vikings, but for everybody in the NFL. And the NFL season is moving far too quick. We're already headed to the midway point of the NFL season, and that's hard to believe because in the off season 8 weeks seem to take forever, and when there's eight weeks until the football season begins, it feels like it's an eternity. But 8 seasons into the football season feels like it just flew right by. We're already in the middle of winter, or in the middle of fall, and today I can feel it. I'm making deliveries, and that wind is strong out here in the great Northwest Ohio. Just look at this place. I don't know. One of the businesses that I delivered to, just the trees look like they're ready to die. But that's perfect football season. The Vikings look pretty damn sharp. They look pretty damn good. They are not disappointing. Early in the season, earlier in this year, I made a video completely destroying Kirk Cousins, just about like how everybody else that watches football was absolutely just picking Kirk Cousins apart after that Chicago Bears game. And the only person that I know of that stayed positive is on my Facebook friends and Facebook sports page, Joseph Johnson. He stayed quiet. He wasn't really saying much. Him and he lives in Minnesota. Another Viking fan that was he was actually outspoken in defending Kirk Cousins was Paul Allen from K-Fan from the Minnesota sports station. He was staying positive on Kirk Cousins, and rightfully so. It's his job. And I was just sitting there tweeting at him like, hey, and I was just completely anti-Kirk at the time. And right now, quite frankly, I don't know where I'm at with Kirk. I almost called him Kirk Franklin. Kirk Cousins, I don't know where I'm at with him right now. I mean, I'm happy that he's doing good, but you still, when you think of Kirk Cousins, you still think of how he hasn't been consistent. He'll have his good moments here and there, but this is the best he's played since he's been a Viking. I'm not sure his whole career in Washington. I'm not sure how that all looked. But I can tell you one thing: the Vikings are looking pretty damn balanced. They're looking like the most balanced team in the NFL, and that's even taking a shot at the New England Patriots, because the Patriots, they just traded for Mohamed Sanu, and that's just showing signs that the Patriots are like, they know they're a lot smarter football wise than I will ever be in my life, but they just know. Well, everybody knows that they know that their offense is not that good. It's good enough to like hang in games, but it's not explosive enough to take over a game. They're winning based on their defense and playing against crummy teams. Now, they don't make the schedule. If they did, they'd make it against like the better teams. But it's not their fault that the teams that they're playing suck ass. They're just doing what they're supposed to do. So you got to give them credit. They're the best team in the NFL, and even when they do play the best teams in the AFC in the playoffs, they fucking dominate them. So I mean, shout out to the Patriots. But balance-wise, the Minnesota Vikings got them. Our running game is number one. It's top-notch. Not sure where the stats are on that one, but Dalvin Cook as a running back is the best pure running back. Maybe you could throw Christian McCaffrey in there, but Christian McCaffrey doesn't have that help that Dalvin Cook does with Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen going over the top. And now we're discovering that the rookies, Olabisi Johnson, wide receiver in the 7th round, and Irv Smith Jr., I think we got him in the 2nd round or in the 3rd round, out of Alabama, tight end. Gifted athlete. He just has to learn the playbook and learn how to run his routes properly, and he's going to be explosive. Those two guys are coming through, and they're playing extremely well. But early in the season, the running game was the first thing that they had to polish, and it's there. It's not going anywhere unless an injury happens. Knock on wood. I don't have any wood in this work truck, but the running game is there. That was the first thing to get opened up in the playbook, and that was a success. And then after that, like after the Bears game, the wide receivers got their turn. And now that's not going anywhere. Thielen and Diggs, and now you add the tight ends. They just had the best game of their season, and it's in the middle of the season. Like, what else do we got to work on? Like, if we can stay consistent and we can just balance the running game, the play action, go to tight end, play action, go deep, play action, boot, Kirk Cousins is going to have an MVP caliber type season. Now, will he win the MVP by popular demand? Probably not. But if he continues at this rate that he's with the type of numbers that he's put up, the sky's the limit for the guy. Kevin Stefanski, our offensive coordinator, he's going to be in line for a head coaching job, and trust me, he's worth every single penny that he's going to be asking for. He was almost gone this year to the Cleveland Browns. Thankfully, we didn't let him go, and he stuck with us. And adding Gary Kubiak was a very, very big plus because he's the one that's showing the offensive line how to pass block and run block. So the team is looking extremely well. We're gelling. Our defense isn't always going to be top-notch. Signs in Detroit, we gave up 30 points. But that was all to one guy, Marvin Jones Jr., so, you know, you can kind of erase that one. But it's still there. You really can't erase it. Yeah, Kevin Stefanski, I hope that the Minnesota Vikings sign his ass to like an actual head coaching contract because he should stay with Minnesota. If Minnesota wants to win a Super Bowl, we already let go of Pat Shurmur to the New York Giants, and I wish we would have kept him, but now we got Kevin Stefanski, which is he's just fucking brilliant. He's a mastermind. He's looking really, really good. He's only like 36 years old. He's only like 4 more years older than me, so that's crazy. And he's fucking an offensive mastermind in Minnesota. But going into this game against the Washington Redskins, I fully expect the ovation for Adrian Peterson and Case Keenum to be through the roof. Hopefully all the Scolders out there in Minnesota that show up and all the Redskins fans that show up in Minnesota can stand on their feet and show Adrian Peterson some love. The guy was very, very he was very, very dominant when it was his time in Minnesota. Had an MVP caliber year. He didn't have it like how Dalvin Cook has it right now. Dalvin Cook has Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen over the top. Now he has Kyle Rudolph, and he has Irv Smith, and he has a defense. Adrian Peterson didn't have the type of weapons that, like a wide receiver, that Dalvin Cook has to help him out. So, I mean, give Adrian Peterson and Case Keenum, Mr. 13-3, Minneapolis Miracle. Give Case Keenum all the love that you guys can possibly give them. I know Minnesota's good for showing good sportsmanship. So, with that being said, I don't really know too much about the Redskins. I don't think I need to know much about them other than what the record says and how they just got shut out by the 49ers. I'm not trying to just downpour on the Redskins and just say that they completely suck. But like Bill Parcells once said, you are what your record says you are. And the Redskins are sitting with 1 win in Week 8. So, I mean, this would be a complete, total disgrace if Minnesota lost to the Washington Redskins. I would not accept the loss, and I hope that we get our shit together because the Buffalo Bills, we were like 16 or 26 point favorite. I can't remember the exact number, but we were just heavy favorites. We were at least 21 point favorites over the Buffalo Bills Week 3 of last year, and we got stomped by the Buffalo Bills, and they stomped us by like 21 points or something like that. So hopefully we don't lose to the Washington Redskins. If we end up losing to the Washington Redskins, I'm going to be extremely disappointed, and you will see it in my next video if we end up losing. So yeah, Thursday Night Football, it's only 2 days away. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'm expecting Kirk Cousins. I'm going to give you guys a stat line for Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook and a prediction before I finish this video. Kirk Cousins' former team. I'm fully expecting. He's trying to play it calm. He's trying to play it cool, like it's just another game and all that. But it's just another game against your team the team that didn't want to sign you long term, and they kept giving you the 1 year deal. And that's not what he was looking for. He got his 3 year, $84 million contract out of the Minnesota Vikings. So that should say something about who wanted him more. He should play better for the Minnesota Vikings, which he has for the last 3 games. But yeah, against this former team, I'm expecting a lights out performance out of him. I'm expecting at the very least 350 to 450 yards with like 5 touchdowns. So anywhere between 350 yards to 450 yards, he's going to have that. He's going to have 5 touchdowns, and I hope he doesn't throw any interceptions, because if he doesn't throw any interceptions, his fucking he'll do my fantasy team a fucking huge solid. Last week he did 30 points for me against the Detroit Lions. But anyways, fantasy football, that's not really important. The Redskins is what matters right now. And Kirk Cousins, like I said, 350 to 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Dalvin Cook's going to have 140, about 135, 150 rushing yards. And he's going to have about 60 or 70 yards receiving. And that's all going to be like maybe in the second half. And I expect fully that the Minnesota Vikings will take on the Redskins and we will blow them out. It's going to be a lopsided game. I keep thinking 38 to 10 or 38 to 17, maybe 38 to 14. That's the final score I'm going to give you guys. I'm probably going to be dead wrong. Minnesota's probably going to give up like maybe 21 points because when we got a huge lead, we tend to do that prevent defense, and just so that way the clock can milk down a little bit more. And then, that's how we get burned and the games turn out closer than they're supposed to. That's the only reason why Minnesota gets into these tight games, because when we start blowing teams out, we start taking our foot out the gas pedal when we shouldn't. We should start dominating and, keep the foot over the gas pedal. I'm sorry if I'm distracting you guys or whatever, but I'm at work right now and I had to hurry up and make this video. I'm sorry that the last video that I made, I deleted it. I had the music up way too loud and it sucks because I thought it was a pretty damn good video. But hopefully this one's enjoyable for you guys. But 38 to 14 final score. Minnesota's going to take it. And we're going to move on to 6-2, and hopefully, I'm rooting for Adrian Peterson to have a really good game. I just hope that they lose, the Redskins. In case Keenum, I'm hoping he has an okay game. But like I said, I hope they lose. Well, that's all I got for you guys for this upcoming game. Like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if not, what do I always say to you guys? Why the fuck are you watching? Have you watched for the fucking 12 and a half minutes? It doesn't make any sense if you don't like my videos. Why do you keep watching, But I'm out. I gotta make this delivery. Let me see what I gotta deliver. I'm at a hospital right now. It's called the Fresh Wave IAQ gel. It's 8 ounces. It's just 1 box. Delivery jobs are probably the best jobs to have if you don't like working with people. So especially janitorial jobs, if you get on your Indeed app, this is a helpful tip that I'm gonna give you guys. I've never really liked having jobs where I had to work around like people, but making deliveries, not FedEx, not UPS, those guys get worked hard. If you get a job, a small local job, locally owned janitorial, custodial, delivery jobs, those jobs pay pretty good, man. I was making the best money I've ever made in my life. So just get on your Indeed app and look driving jobs, and then I don't know if you can get more specific, but look up janitorial delivery jobs. Those jobs pay really good, and there's a lot of benefits. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be back, I want to say right after the game, but if it's a blowout, either or, Redskins or Vikings are blowing out the other, like if the Redskins are blowing out the Vikings, I will be back while the game is on, and I'll be commentating, dogging on the Vikings. But if the game's a blowout in the Vikings' favor, I will be back, and while the game is on, I'll have the game in the background, and we'll see how that goes. But you guys take it easy, all right? Thank you for the much support that you guys give me. I really appreciate it, and I'm sorry again for the shitty ass fucking audio that I gave you guys on the last video. I deleted it, and I'm making up for you guys right now. All right, you guys take it easy, okay? Much love.